Hi, everybody, and welcome to the Virtual College Exploration for all students, sponsored by the College2Career and StripeScan. Thank you for joining us. A few announcements before we get started. You can use the Q&A button on your screen to type your questions to our presenter at any time. Your camera and microphone are off so the panelists can now see or hear you. This is one of the many different sessions that we have available on the website. So if you're interested, you can go on the website and join any of the other ones as well. This presentation is being recorded and will be available within a week on the same website, which is college2careerfairsconnect.org. Okay, and I'd like to turn it over to our panelists.
So I'm just gonna flip on over here. Cool. Well, welcome again, everybody. My name is Micah Tropman. I am actually located in one of our 31 offices in Los Angeles, California. I am originally from Orange County, grew up in Newport, and I'm also an alum from IE. So I'm super, super excited to connect with you all. I am happy to speak about my experience as well. On the screen there, you'll see a QR code. You're welcome if you have your phone out and if you know how to scan that. Just a couple things to inform you about is IE University is located in Spain, and I'll go into details a bit more into the presentation, but I wanted to offer any seniors or juniors scholarship opportunities that you're welcome to apply for the beginning of October, so literally tomorrow. So for seniors, we do have global challenges that are gonna on a span of different topics between law, entrepreneurship, sustainability, and some others. And the idea is that you can do it in teams or on your own. You can actually apply for the scholarships and get selected before you even apply to IE. If you want any more information and details and the links and all of that, please again scan the QR code. And then for juniors, for the Junior Advisory Board, we hold every single year. We've had it for many years. It's a chance to win an 80% scholarship. It is a global competition. The topic changes every single year. Last year we did it on sustainability, the year before on artificial intelligence. If that's something that you'd be interested in applying to, feel free to email me, and my email will be at the end. But I wanted to get started, and I can always answer your questions at the end, just because it will be a little bit easier for me to see them. So throw them in the Q&A and I will get to them to the best as I can and leave some time for you. So again, welcome, super happy to have you. So who's going to IE? What is IE all about? So IE University is located in Spain. We are one of the world's most international universities with over 75% of our students coming from all around the world. There are 45 languages, or over 45 languages spoken on campus, but everything is taught in English because of our global community. When you are thinking about applying, a lot of questions that we get is, can I apply with this diploma or this degree? And of course, we accept over more than 50. So if you're studying the American High School Diploma, which means you are on like a 4.0 GPA, or you're taking AP classes, or if you're doing the IB diploma, we also accept that, as well as the French baccalaureate and many, many, many others. So I am located here again in the US to help you every step of the way. I've done the interview, I've applied, I am happy to give you tips, but we will most likely accept your degree. So within the 75% students that are coming from around the world, there's over 130 nationalities. And because we are a smaller nonprofit private university, we've got about 4,100 students split between the two campuses that we'll get into a little bit later. What's really exciting though is we are known as a business school, an entrepreneurial business school. So we are working very, very diligently on closing the gap. So we do have more women on campus, and then we also have different scholarships and initiatives to kind of close that gap as well. So we're really excited about that. Rankings, I don't know if anybody thinks these are important, but I always like to report them. We are a top ranked university. We're the first in Spain, 5th in Europe, and we have one of the best top 10 business programs worldwide, or business administration programs worldwide. And in congruent with that, with world rankings and also job rankings, where we are again top 10, but for student satisfaction, Because IE is really good about bridging the gap between academia and professional development. You do have multiple years of internship opportunities. So starting from year 1 to year 2, you can do a paid internship abroad your 3rd year, an exchange program your 3rd or your 4th year. But again, we are highly ranked. We've got many partnerships with thousands of companies worldwide. And you have access to do internships with them, and you can do panel discussions with them, and then also shadowing programs. So I did mention we have 2 campuses. It's quite unique for a school to have 2 campuses. I can assure you that it is 2 locations, 1 experience. So I'll go a little bit more into that. So we have 2 destinations in Spain. We have our campus in Segovia and then our other campus in Madrid. So it really is appealing to what kind of environment you want to study in. I don't know if anybody's ever been to Spain, but it is a magical, magical country. I think it's built for international college students. It's super safe. It's very open-minded. They speak many languages, so moving to Spain and not knowing Spanish, you'll totally be okay. But our Madrid campus, for example, is the capital. So it is a metropolis city. Our campus is located in the city center, so it's really accessible to get everywhere. People can take day trips. Spain is also the 2nd most visited country in the world, so there is a huge tourism option there. But the one thing that I would like to talk about is the new tower. So in Spain, there is the financial district, and they're called the 4 towers, and we are building the 5th tower. So it's going to be very strategic, again, to go along with the thousands of partnerships of different companies that we have around the world. You'll have more access to internships with them, but it is going to be the first and only high-rise university in all of Europe. It's going to be over 32 stories high. It's got everything from gyms to recreational sports to green spaces. I think there's going to be stores, and I know there is a whole room, or a floor, I mean, dedicated to virtual reality learning, because we are known for innovation. So I can speak a little bit more about that. I studied in Madrid. I haven't seen the new tower yet. I'm super excited, and it should be ready spring 2021. So for those seniors who are applying this year, you will be the first class that gets the new campus. So turning it over to the Segovia campus. Segovia is magical. It's higher elevation. It's only 30 minutes away from Madrid. So it's really easy to get to the capital. The campus was built in 1218, so it's older than the United States. And a fun fact about our campus is it's a World UNESCO site, which means it's protected by the United Nations. Because international relations is one of our most popular programs, we actually get to work with the UN on a lot of the sustainability development goals. They get to do trips to different countries. Last year, they went to Nepal to study happiness. And it's a magical place if you love hiking, mountains, more of that natural kind of scenery. But you can also have the best of both worlds. So if you're not really sure which campus you want to start in, you're welcome to start in Segovia and then move to Madrid your last couple of years of studying. So I did mention you have an option to do an international exchange. So essentially you can study abroad while you're studying abroad. Forgive me, I don't have the most updated slide because it was updated this week. But we have partnerships with top schools around the world that you are welcome to do a semester or 2 away at. On the slide, it's going to say 160. We have over 220 partners now. And yeah, we have, I think, over 80% of our students actually end up doing this option. So if you really love traveling, culture, languages, this is a really great school to consider. So talents and careers. So that slide was a little fast, sorry about that. We, being an entrepreneurial business school, we also have an incubator on campus. So if you've ever wondered if you would like to start your own company or you want to make that happen sooner than later, we have the incubator to help build your ideas, your companies, your business plans. You also get to meet with investors and do pitches. And so about 5% of our students graduate with their own companies, and that's on a global level. So that doesn't necessarily mean that they stay in Spain. They can come back to the US and start their companies, etc. But after graduation, where did they go? So 43% of our students actually end up getting a job in a different country. So if you're coming from the US, you study at IE, it's possible you get a job in Germany or the UK or Australia. It just really depends on what your goals are. But the idea is studying abroad gives you a lot more mobility and opportunities to explore those options if that's something that you want to do. About 20% of non-Spanish speakers also stay in Spain. So what's great about studying in Spain, and specifically at IE, if you decide to stay after you graduate, you have a year to look for employment. And we can also offer more internship opportunities for you. So that's also another option that you have. And it's very typical in the EU for students to pursue their postgraduate degree or their master's degree right after graduation. So we have about a quarter of them doing that. Some of them are with us because we're also known for our master's programs, or some of them come back to the US and do them at like Ivy League schools. So career report, this is just a small snapshot of some of the companies that the students are being hired and the ones that we work with. So if you're looking at tech companies like Google, or business companies like Amazon, or I don't know, marketing and makeup companies like L'Oreal, I'm happy to share my experience. These companies do come to our campus and they offer us internships, but you are able to apply for challenges. I actually got to do one with L'Oreal, which meant I got to work in Paris for a summer in their L'Oreal office in their marketing department. And it was an amazing experience, and it was unlike anything that I've ever done, and I absolutely loved it. So again, you know, a lot of students are working at top companies. We have over 100 companies that recruit IE students specifically. So how to apply? I know this is a huge question, and I'm going to give you my email at the end of the presentation, so I'm more than happy to help you along the way, but I'll just briefly discuss the application process. So yes, everything is virtual, everything is online. We have been that way for many years. We are available on the Common app, so you can definitely find us there. You'll just have to apply within your major program and then also select a campus. We take the same typical things like any other American university. We ask for your transcripts, letters of recommendation, which we're only doing one this year. You know, an essay. If you wanted to apply on our website, you can actually do a video instead of writing one. So it's really open to how you want to express yourself and what kind of format you want to do it in. The only additional documentation that we require that are going to be different is a CV, or what we know here in the US as a resume. I always tell students not to go crazy on it, just make it one page. It really just emphasizes what you've been doing for the last 4 years. If you're playing any sports, if you've had the opportunity to work, your grade point average, whatever it is that you want us to see on one page. I tell students also not to worry about it, because how I look at it is you're going to be taking that as a skeleton over to IE, because again, you're going to be doing internships from year 1 all the way through, and you're going to be building upon that resume. So the first part, or part A, I guess, of the first step is also an online assessment. So IE is known for technology and innovation. And so of course, we're going to kind of throw that into our application. It's only 3 questions. You usually get a link to the online assessment once you submit and pay for the application. 2 of them are recorded live videos, and then 1 short prompt response. 2 of the videos that are live, they're all open-ended questions. It could be something like, if you were to wake up in the body of somebody tomorrow, who would it be and what would you do? So everybody can answer these questions. And what we're really looking for is just how you express yourself. We're super excited to get to know you. We're not judging you in any way if you repeated yourself or if you ran out of time. That's not who we are. But it also just humanizes you in the application and the admissions process. The second part, I think, is the biggest topic that we have this year are SATs, ACTs. So in the past, of course, we have accepted them. So if you were able to take them, our minimum of our SATs is 1,200, and our average is probably 1,450. And then our ACT minimum is 24, and our average is probably about 30. But if you didn't meet the minimum requirements, or of course, if you aren't able to take them, you can take our admissions test. Our admissions test kind of really evens the playing field within all the different diplomas that are being studied worldwide. So the admissions test also helps us be more diverse in our classroom. So 1, it measures how you learn. so you don't have to study for it. It's really interesting, and I promise you'll like it. It's very different from the SAT and ACT. It measures your English, again, because we're international. There's a personality test on there. But what it does is we don't want a one size fits all. We want you all to be incredibly different and diverse, and that goes a lot further than what country you're coming from, what language or what passport you hold, but really how you express yourself. How do you think critically? How do you go about solving problems? So that is our test. It is done virtually this year, and I can always send you the links when you're ready to take it after you submit your application. And I can also give you some tips on it as well. And the last step of the process is the formal interview. This again will be done virtually. It's really just to talk more about you and what you've submitted inside your application. We love getting to know you. It's one of my favorite parts of working in the admissions department is the interviews. I was really nervous for mine when I did it, but I felt really, really confident and really good when I left. So again, I'm happy to give you tips on that. And that is pretty much essentially the admissions process. So if you have any questions about that, I'm happy to revisit them in the Q&A chat box once I finish the presentation. So one quick thing is when you're looking at schools in Europe, you need to make sure that they're accredited. And being from California, I like to say, just make sure they're legit. That means that if you study at a university and they're not accredited, that means that if you move back to the US, it kind of looks like you haven't studied. So I'm happy to report that IE is actually triple accredited. We're one of only 88 schools in the entire world that has a triple accreditation, and that essentially means that you can work anywhere with our degrees. So again, you have more of international mobility in terms of that sense. So you won't have to worry about that. So our degrees. So our degrees are highly researched, and so we implement what is going to be out in the job market, not 5 years from now, not a decade from now, but moving forward. Because I think there was a big fear about like, well, if I study this, then it might not be there in a few years, and that's not necessarily true, at least with our degrees. What's also great about being an entrepreneurial school is we update our programs as the world shifts and there are new trends. So for example, there wasn't anything in regards to blockchain like 10 years ago, but now students are going to be learning about that because that might be the new normal. Again, all of our programs are taught in English. We are known for our practical teaching methods, so it's a lot of learning by doing and not necessarily always taking exams. You have a lot of group work. It enables you to work on your soft skills and not just the hard skills. And some of our most popular programs, of course, are going to be business administration, international relations, computer science and artificial intelligence. We were one of the first schools to implement an artificial intelligence degree, and of course, data and business analytics. I would like to take a moment to speak about our law program. We have one of the best law programs, competitive law programs in the world. If you are thinking about becoming a lawyer in the US, IE has an amazing partnership with Northwestern where you have the 3-2 program. So you would go and study at IE for 3 years, and then you would transfer and go do a JD or Juris Doctor at Northwestern, which is 2 years. And then within that 5 year after you graduate, you are able to take the bar and be a practicing lawyer in the US. Typically, if you were doing that route in the US, it takes about 7 years. So we are able to shave off 2 years because of how practical we are in our teaching methods and how much internship and working experience you get that's already built into the program. What's brilliant about that too is it really gives you a lot more ample opportunity to kind of figure out and discover different things that you can do with your degree. So for example, if somebody wants to study business and they really are gung-ho on going into marketing, you can work with a Google or some kind of marketing company or department your first year and really decide, is that something that you really love and that you're passionate about? Maybe the first year you're not really sold on it, but maybe you have other passions. Maybe you're really interested in, sustainability or any other kind of sector. And so the idea is to allow you to figure out what you can do with your degree as you study. And what's also unique about the school is we offer dual degrees. So if you're someone who has considered maybe doing a major and a minor here in the US, it's a little different. You're actually studying 2 degrees, so you get 2 diplomas. So for example, if you're somebody who wants to study business, but you're also kind of torn between law, you're welcome to do both. And then that way it'll give you more opportunities to kind of figure out, do you want to continue and be a lawyer somewhere in a different country, or do you want to open up your own business and or open up your own law firm? It just gives you a lot more options, essentially. So a lot of students in the US tend to do this. And we do have 2 new dual degrees. We have a degree in business administration and design, and then also in international relations and economics. If you are still trying to figure out what would be a good fit for you, I am your person. It's like my specialty to figure out what degree makes sense and is the best fit for you. So try to think, if you study a degree at IE, it's not a one size fits all, or it's not something that fits in a box. You really do have more opportunities to kind of figure out like what's out there in the world. What can you do with it? So again, feel free to scan the QR code. I have my email there that you are welcome to jot down. My name is Micah. And if you'd like, I do believe we have quite a bit of time. I'm happy to take on any questions that you might have in regards to the academic requirements, GPA requirements, or anything else in general. So I'm going to head over to the Q&A box. I don't have any questions thus far, but happy to give you a second to think of something, and I'd be happy to answer for you. Okay, awesome. So I have a first question. Can I learn more about the 2 campuses, Madrid and Segovia? So what would you like to know specifically about the campuses? Spain is a really walkable city, regardless if you're studying or even just visiting Barcelona, Cádiz, Ibiza, Madrid, Segovia. I always compare Spanish lifestyle, a good mix between New York and California. So in California, for example, we're known as, or I guess on the West Coast, we're known more as being laid back. So amplify that in the Spanish culture. They're really good about their mental health and being present. Again, the country's super open and very safe. I felt safer there than I do in the US. But the campuses specifically. So Madrid, we've got the new campus that's going to be built and ready in the spring of 2021. There's a lot of things to do around campus that's walking distance. Madrid and Segovia is really also a city that never sleeps. People are always outside. People are always out, you know, enjoying tapas and wine and all of that good stuff. But I don't know specifically what you want to know about the campuses, so I'm not really quite sure on how much further you want me to go into that. We do have virtual campus tours on our website, so you're welcome to also visit us there, get a little bit more of a picturesque of what it's like, but they're awesome places to study. There's tons of things to do. Students also do a lot of day trips because of how accessible the transportation is there. So if you want to go to Madrid for the weekend, or you want to go up to Barcelona for the weekend, or you want to go, I don't know, fly to Portugal, it's only a 45-minute flight. It's usually 20 euros. You're welcome to do so as well. And you'll also be studying with people from different countries. So you have places to stay and they'll take you out. It's awesome. So the next question is, on average, how much is the tuition and housing cost? That's a great question. Thank you for asking. So we do offer heavy scholarships and financial aid. Our single degrees are 21,000 euros per year, and then our dual degrees are 23,000 euros per year. When you do apply for scholarships and financial aid, it always comes after you've already gotten the conditional offer, the acceptance into IE, and we always give them back in a percentage. So let's say you get 50%, that means 50% of your tuition's covered for every single year that you're at IE. Housing costs, Spain's one of the most affordable countries to live in. That's why it's super friendly for college students. So you know, I think monthly, I think I paid between like 800 euros a month, and then food was really, really accessible and affordable as well. So I would look at maybe an extra like $1,200, if that, a month, or sorry, 1,200 euros a month. So you're looking probably around, in US dollars, maybe 35,000 a year if you don't have any financial aid, and that's housing and food and tuition. Can you say or repeat how many students there are? So there's 4,100 students total. So about 40% of our students will be in Segovia, and the other 60% are in Madrid. The only reason why it's not 50-50 is the Segovia campus was built in the 1200s. So it's a little bit of a smaller campus. The classes are no more than 50 people, especially right now with, you know, social distancing. There are about like 8 students per classroom. We just do multiple sessions per day. And I think that answers your question. What offered in those campuses? So Kimberly, I'm sorry, I'm having a hard time understanding what you mean by offered. You mean the degrees, or if you could be a little bit more specific. But I mean, all of our degrees are offered on both campuses. So if you don't know which campus to start at, you would always start in Segovia and then in Madrid, or you can do all Segovia, all Madrid. I highly recommend doing both. You get a little bit of the rural life and the urban life. Again, it's quite easy to move to Spain if you don't speak Spanish because of how international the country is. But I hope that answers it or helps answer it for you. So it looks like that might be all of the questions, unless anybody had any other lingering questions. I'm happy to speak about my experience. But yeah. Awesome. I think that will be it. Cool. Awesome, you guys. Thank you so much for joining. I really, really appreciate your time. I tried to keep it short. I know that it's probably a long day being connected virtually. Again, I'm here to help you if you ever have any questions. And I look forward to meeting you. Again, if you scan the QR code, I can send you those links for the scholarship opportunities for seniors and juniors, and I'm happy to help and support you all in any way that I can. And I appreciate your time, so thank you again.
Okay, thank you so much to our panelists. If you guys stick around, or once you actually exit the meeting, you will have a short survey, question survey. Any feedback you can provide is going to help us. Also, this was just one of the many sessions being hosted, so be sure to sign up for an additional session at the website. And again, in about a week or so, this session, which was being recorded, will be available for you for review, and any other session as well on the website, which is College2Career fairsconnect.org. All right, thank you so much. Thank you to our panelists. Bye.